I stood there, holding him up, as Dr. Lambert, the most respected doctor in the city, misdiagnosed his guest's condition right before my eyes. I was just a cleaner's son, invincible in that grand mansion, but I knew he was about to make a fatal mistake. My heart pounded as I watched him reach for the aspirin, and in that split second, I had a choice. Stay silent and watch a woman die, or speak up and risk destroying my mother's only job, our only source of hope. Most people would have stayed quiet, but I couldn't. And that's the moment everything changed. Not just for me, but for everyone in that room. If you think a cleaner's son can't change his faith, let me tell you what really happened that day, and how it led me from the shadows of that mansion to the spotlight of the nation's top medical award. Welcome to Still Talking Tales, where we inspire you on the go. Now tap on that subscribe button and let's dive in. I never wanted to be a hero, trust me. I just wanted to help my mother, to make her proud, to maybe one day escape the life we'd been handed. But that day, fate forced my hand. My name is Miles, the only child of a widowed mother who worked herself to the bone cleaning houses for the city's elite. My father passed when I was 10, and since then it's just been me and my mom against the world. We lived in a cramped apartment with peeling paint and a leaky roof. That morning, my mother, Mrs. Margaret, woke me up before dawn, her hands already rough from years of scrubbing and mopping. "Miles, you're coming with me today," she said. "We'll finish faster if you help me, and maybe I can rest a little." I nodded, not wanting to disappoint her. "We walk with our heads down and with our hearts up," she said, as we approached the Lambert's mansion. I always nodded, but inside I was burning with questions. Why did some people have so much? Why we had so little? Why did my mother have to suffer just to keep us afloat? I was always curious. I read every book I could find, especially anything about science or medicine. I would sit in the library for hours, losing myself in stories of doctors and discoveries, dreaming of a life where I could help people, where I could be someone. But dreams are expensive when you're poor, and in our world, dreams came second to survival. The Lambert's mansion was like another world completely. Marble floors, golden chandeliers, paintings that probably cost more than our entire apartment. The air smelled like fresh flowers, and everywhere I looked, there were things I'd only seen in magazines. I felt small, out of place, but I tried to focus. Start with the mopping in the dining area, and don't draw attention to yourself. Don't even go near Dr. Lambert and his guest in the living room, okay? I promised I'll stay out of the way. And one more thing, Miles. No staring, no stealing, no touching. I smiled and said, "Yes, Mom, I promise." As I mopped the dining area, I couldn't help but glance into the living room where Dr. Lambert was entertaining his guests. That's when I saw her. Miss Kelly. She was laughing at first, but suddenly her face went pale. She clutched her chest and started gasping for air. Her boyfriend panicked, calling out for Dr. Lambert. The room erupted into chaos. Dr. Lambert rushed over, all confidence and authority. He didn't even ask what happened. He just looked at her and said, "Pain and tightness in the chest?" She nodded, barely able to breathe. "Shortness of breath?" Another nod. He turned to her boyfriend and said, "I believe this is acute myocardial ischemia. I'll call an ambulance, but first, I'll get you something to help." He ran out and came back quickly with an aspirin. I froze. I knew what was happening. I'd read about this in the books. I could hear the wheezing in her breath from across the room. She had asthma. An aspirin could trigger a deadly attack. My heart was pounding. I knew if I spoke up, I could ruin everything for my mother. But if I stayed silent, Miss Kelly could die. I couldn't stay quiet. I blurted out, "Don't give her that. It will only make it worse. She doesn't need aspirin." The room went silent. Dr. Lambert turned to me, his eyes full of disbelief and anger. "And who the hell are you?" he demanded. My voice shook, but I stood my ground. "I'm the cleaner's son, but that's not important right now, sir. Please listen to her breathing. She's wheezing. She has asthma on top of the heart issue. Aspirin could trigger a severe asthma attack. It could even kill her." He looked at me like I was nothing. Miss Kelly's boyfriend looked desperate. "Dr. Lambert, is there a chance the boy is right?" But Dr. Lambert ignored me. He gave her the aspirin anyway. For a moment, she seemed better. Her breathing slowed and both men let out a sigh of relief. She'll be fine, Dr. Lambert said. An ambulance is already on its way. But just a minute later, her eyes widened. She clutched her throat again, gasping for air, her face turning red. Her boyfriend shouted, "What's happening? Please help her!" Dr. Lambert listened with his stethoscope, and I saw the realization dawn on his face. She was having an asthma attack. Her boyfriend then looked at me. "Your cleaner's son was right. The aspirin must have triggered it. Please do something." The ambulance arrived just in time, and they rushed her out of the house. After they left, Dr. Lambert stormed back into the living room, his face red with fury. He called out to my mom, who was still cleaning in the kitchen. "So, you brought your son to humiliate me in front of my guests?" My mother had no idea what had happened. She immediately dropped to her knees, begging for forgiveness. "Please, sir, I'm sorry. I didn't mean to." But he cut her off. "You're fired, both of you. Now, get the hell out of my house before I have you both arrested." We left in silence. The walk home felt endless. Mom didn't say a word. I could see her shoulders shaking, and I knew I had put her in an unbearable position. The guilt ate at me. When we got home, she didn't say a single word. She just sat at the kitchen table, staring at her bare hands. I sat beside her, searching for the right words to break the silence. "Mom, I know you're mad at me. I'm sorry, but I promise I'll get enough money soon. You will never have to clean anyone's house again." She looked at me confused. "Son, what are you talking about?" I took a deep breath and told her about the National Top Doctor competition, how I had been sneaking out to study, how I had made it to the finals, how the winner would get to study medicine anywhere in the world and win $5 million. She stared at me, half in disbelief, half in hope. "So this is what you've been up to? Sneaking in and out of the house, huh? Why didn't you tell me?" I shrugged. "I knew you would try to talk me out of it, Mom. I didn't want to get your hopes up." She smiled, but it faded quickly. "Promise me you won't get depressed if things go south. I can't afford to lose you too." I squeezed her hand. "I won't, Mom." Maybe I sounded too confident, but I believed it. "Son, this kind of competition features the very best from all parts of the country. What makes you so sure you would win?" she asked. "Dad told me in my dream. I have a gift, Mom. Remember Miss Kelly? I just knew what was wrong. I don't know how, but I do. I promise I'm going to win this for us." Then she hugged me, tears rolling down her cheeks, and for the first time in a long time, I felt real hope. That night, I barely slept. I kept thinking about everything that could go wrong. What if Dr. Lambert sabotaged me? What if I froze? I remembered my father's old stethoscope, hidden in a box under my bed. I held it to my chest and whispered, "Help me, Dad. Give me strength." The next day, I walked into the finals of the National Top Doctor competition. 5 of us left from thousands of applicants. I recognized one of them, Melissa, the daughter of a famous surgeon, and 3 others who looked just as nervous as I felt. The room was grand, filled with the brightest young minds in the country, and there he was, Dr. Lambert, Chief Examiner. Dr. Smith, the president of the Top Doctors Committee and a senior member of the Federal Medical Board, welcomed us. There are 15 questions on diagnosis, medicine types, prescriptions, etc. You have 30 minutes. No cheating, cameras are watching. And then Dr. Lambert added, "The person with the highest score will be declared the winner. If you're caught cheating, you will be arrested immediately." Dr. Lambert's eyes then found me and he sneered, whispering to the invigilator to keep an eye on me. I glanced at the questions. My heart raced, but as I read, everything clicked. Years of reading medical books, watching documentaries, and listening to my father's stories came flooding back. I finished in 10 minutes and stood up to submit. Dr. Lambert laughed when I stood up to submit my paper. "Giving up already?" he sneered. No, sir, I'm done, I replied. He opened my paper, expecting to see empty pages, but every answer was filled. He frowned, but said nothing. When the results were announced, Melissa was named the winner with an 82% score. Everyone clapped, but I didn't get my score or my paper. I stood up, my voice shaking. "Uh, Excuse me, what about my results?" Dr. Lambert glared at me. "Young man, you're under investigation for cheating. If you admit it right now, we'll let it go. Otherwise, you'll be handed to the authorities." I shook my head. "I didn't cheat." His voice grew louder. "Then how did you get 100% score? You're a disgrace." The room turned on me. Melissa sneered. Dr. Lambert glared. I felt the walls closing in. Suddenly, the door flung open and in came Dr. Smith, along with a security guard and a member of the press. "What's going on here?" he asked. Dr. Lambert then pointed at me. "He cheated, but refuses to admit it." Then Dr. Smith asked me to follow him to another room for questioning, but I refused to back down. "Sir, with all due respect, ask me any question, right here, right now. If I answer, you admit I'm innocent and investigate Dr. Lambert for deliberately trying to sabotage me." Dr. Lambert laughed. "Sir, you can't possibly take him seriously. He should be arrested already." Dr. Smith didn't say a word. The room was silent. Then he wrote on the board. A 3-year-old girl, fever, sweating, loss of appetite. Parents thought it was a cold. Fever rises, cough, shortness of breath, headache, crackling in both lungs. What's the diagnosis and treatment? The other candidates stared at the board, clearly stumped. Melissa smiled, thinking there was no way I'd get a prize after all. I stepped up, heart pounding. Diagnosis: pneumonia. Tests: lab tests to determine if it's bacterial, viral, or fungal. Treatment: antibiotics, antivirals, or antifungals as needed. In all cases, over-the-counter medication can be used for pain and fever relief. I dropped the marker and stepped back. The room was still silent. Then Dr. Smith started clapping. Everyone joined in, except for Dr. Lambert. Dr. Smith then turned to me. "Mr. Miles, I apologize. On behalf of the National Medical Board, you are hereby declared winner of this year's Top Doctors Award. Congratulations." They handed me the plaque and the $5 million check. Cameras flashed. I was then given the microphone to make a speech. "This is for you, Dad. For you, Mom. For every kid out there who's ever been told they're not good enough." I could imagine my mom crying and smiling with her hands over her mouth if she were there with me. After the ceremony, Dr. Smith pulled Dr. Lambert aside. "I don't know what personal vendetta you have against that young man or what you were trying to achieve, but you have clearly put the institution's reputation at risk. You would have to explain yourself to the disciplinary board. Until then, your medical license is revoked, effective immediately." Dr. Lambert tried to protest, but it was over. The tables had turned. But life, I've learned, is never that simple. A week after my victory, I received a letter. It was from Miss Kelly, the woman whose life I tried to save. She wanted to meet me. She had fully recovered and started a foundation for asthma awareness, naming me as its honorary ambassador. But then she told me something that shook me to my core. Dr. Lambert had been suspended, but he'd fallen into depression. He had lost everything: his job, his reputation, his friends, and he was at home refusing to see anyone. I didn't know what to feel. He had tried to destroy me, but now he was the one who needed help. Miss Kelly asked if I would visit him. At first I refused, but that night I remembered my father's words. True greatness isn't just about winning. It's about lifting others even when they try to pull you down. The next day, I summoned courage and went to Dr. Lambert's mansion. He looked older, smaller, defeated. He wouldn't even look at me. I sat beside him and said, "Sir, I know you do hate me, but I don't hate you. I just wanted to help. That's all I ever wanted." He was silent for a long time, but I still sat there. Then finally he whispered, I was wrong about you, boy. I let my pride blind me. I'm sorry. We sat in silence, two broken people trying to heal. I realized that day that forgiveness is the hardest medicine to swallow, but sometimes it's the only cure. Now, when people see me in my white coat, they don't see the cleaner's son. They see a doctor. But I'll never forget where I came from. I'll never forget the nights my mother cried herself to sleep, or the mornings she woke up just before dawn to give me a chance at a better life. Every year I visit schools in poor neighborhoods, telling my story, reminding everyone that sometimes diamonds are indeed found in the dirt.